Hi, this is Sonia with Artsy Solutions, and I want to show you this passage door little junk journal. And it was supposed to have been like a little folio insert, but I ended up making it a little bit too thick, so I just made it into a little mini journal. So the closure is made out of faux gimp, and I'm just going to go ahead and open it up. It was originally supposed to have been a magnetic closure, but I messed up along the way, and I put magnets here and on the inside, so I just went on ahead and made a pin attached to it. I added some magnets to the ink pen so that it would just stick to it. So it'll stick to it here and on the inside. And let me zoom out a little bit. Okay, and so for the door, I just used the Sizzix Passage Door by Tim Holtz. And I die cut it out like 4 times, or yeah, 4 times. 2 for the front, 2 for the back. And I just stressed it, and I cut out the inner portions of the door and glued it on to give it like a more of a 3-dimensional kind of look to it. And then I just kind of stamped some textures onto it, like a wooden texture. And then in the backdrop I have brick that I use a little stencil with. I think I got the stencil from eBay. And then for the whatever this thing, the little window, I just used a 3-inch circle punch, cut it in half, and then for the inner part of the window, I used a 2.5-inch circle punch, cut it in half, added some acetate over top of it, and glued it together. And then I've got some cheesecloth throughout, and then this here, as well as this down through here, it's just some embossed paper that I embossed and added some distress ink to it. This is from the Tim Holtz Alterations Textures Fade Collage and Notebook Set. And then these little tools that I have up here are stickers. They're from the Architecture 7 Gypsies Architecture. It's this little kit, little sticker kit you can get. So I just kind of took it from there. So the door opens, and the doorknob and handle, or lock and handle, actually comes from the back of the Architecture packaging. This is where I got it from, so I just took it there because they had some really neat images on there, and it's good to just recycle, so I just keep those and add those into my journals. And then these cute little furniture pieces, it's a digital download that I got from, I want to say Imaginarium. I'm probably chopping up the name, but I'll have a link at the bottom of the description of where I got it from. But that's where I got that from. And then the lady, and then there's a lady on the back too. I got her from, it's a digital kit, Ebony Vintage Journal Kit, Elegant Tools or Elegant Creations. I'm not real sure which one it is. And I'll have a link in the description for that website as well. And then this little photograph, or a vintage, what do you call those? Whatever these are. And this little vintage ticket. These come from one of the kits it's a dresser template kit, and it's on the inside of here, and when I get to it I'll show you. So, and then the spine is just paper, and the whole folio is made out of manila envelope. And then you have jute string connecting this the one signature inside. And then the back has This right here is actually a photograph of I actually have, this is my, it's a picture frame that I actually have. And what I did was I just took a picture of it and just kind of edited it in Photoshop and then turned it into a digital creation. And the picture of that lady is also from Elegant Tools or Elegant Creations. And then I just have some cheesecloth and some more of that embossed Tim Holtz notebook set. And then this tag is also from this secret box, and I have some other words. They're all from a dresser template kit that's on the inside of here, and it's free. It's a commercial use kit. Most of my kits are for personal use, my free kits, but I've decided to let this one become a commercial use kit. And then this little oval I have in the background is just the iron-on from Sewology. Let me see if yeah, it's a little iron-on. I don't know if you can see that or not, but that's what that is. And then this little Paris, it's a digital print. I got it from it's a 2-inch circle from Nostalgic Graphic Land. I think it's on Etsy, and I'll have that in the link in the description. And then this little piece here is also just another remnant from the 7 Gypsies architecture. So I'm just going to go ahead and open this up, and I've already started writing in it because it's going to be like a little journal for creating stuff. So you have a pocket here. This comes out, and there's a little man and a clock. That's part of a digital kit. His story. It's on Pixel Scrapper, where I'm a digital designer. And then let's see, this little tag comes out. It's also a part of the dresser drawer template. And then this goes back in here. Then flip it over, and here's some more ephemera. And then this comes out, because this is a pocket down in here. And then this here, I made this with vellum. I just printed out an image that I created in Photoshop, and I printed it onto the vellum and just added some digital pieces or whatever. And then here's a remnant of something that I've tried to sew around. I'm still working on my sewing. I'm not that great at it yet, but I'm trying. And I just added some ephemera and another little envelope. Put that back in there. And then on the back of this, I just added a little piece of paper and some more ephemera. It's a little ticket, and I just did some stamping using Tim Holtz Stampers Anonymous. Live the life you've imagined. And then some more. This is Graphic 45 from the Typography collection, and just some little words. And this little magnifying glass is also from Pixel Scrapper. It's a digital print image that I made on Pixel Scrapper. And I just fussy cut it out. So, let me put this here. And then this key is also a part of the digital kit, this dresser drawer kit, which I'll show you in a moment. And then you have a pocket here. And then I just did some stamping on some of these tags. And then some more embossing. Tim Holtz notebook collage set. Let's put these back in here. And then I just added one signature, and I used some coffee stain paper and coffee stain paper along with just some leftover scrapbook papers and vellum. And some of my digital prints. I just tossed them in here. And then I just, this was another one of my sewing mishaps. I just tossed it in here and just made it into a pocket. So, now, okay, and then this is just a little floral die cut that I made with a combination of, the middle portion is from the Tim Holtz Alterations tattered florals in the middle. That's this little small one, and I think, yeah, that one and that one. I think that's what in that one. Yeah, these three images that I use. And then for the big part of it, it comes from the Brenda Walton's by Sizzix, that die. This window unit, I got it, it's a digital print as well. And I got it from Digital Butterflies. And I just fussy cut it out. And then this little dress form, I cut it out on my Cricut. And then this little circle, it's just the remnants of what I had die cut from here, and not die cut, but embossed and distressed. I just cut a portion of that piece of paper out with a circle punch, a 1-inch circle punch. And now this is the dresser template that I was talking about. And it's a free commercial use template that I'm giving away. So I have some magnetic closure. This is the magnetic closure magnets in here and in here. And your dresser slides out. And you can put some stuff in there if you like. I just made my the bottom portion of the dresser into like a little booklet. And it has coffee stain paper, and I just stapled it together. And I created it first, and then I just glued it to the back of the dresser drawer. So I just pull that down, and it slides on in. You can lift it up a little, and it'll snap into place. And I have a tutorial on it, and as a matter of fact, this entire booklet I made into a 3-part tutorial. So, and this one has 2 different versions. You can have the thick version that I just showed you, or you can have the thinner version where instead of this, they both slide out, but this one comes out like this, and you can use it as like a mat or writing pad or just whatever you want to use it for, and it slides into here. But it's the same process, it's just not as thick, you know, compared to this one. This one's thicker. I don't know if you can see that or not, but yeah. Here's the side of it. Yeah. So that's basically it. And then you know, I have magnets in here because this was originally supposed to be the closure. There was another portion that overlapped over top, but it wouldn't close. The magnets wouldn't stay together. So since I'd already put magnets in here, I just decided I'm just going to create something, you know, to use my magnets so they don't go to waste. So let's get on to the tutorial, and thanks for watching. And today I want to make a journal, well actually some ephemera for a journal, and I'm going to use the Sizzix passage door. So what you're going to need 2 pieces of paper, and I'm using 65-pound cardstock by Recollections, cream color, and you can use whatever color you like. And I had to write my measurements down. You're going to need 2 pieces of 5.5 by 3.5 paper, and I've already cut 2 of them out, and I've actually already die cut one of the doors. And then you're also going to need a piece of paper 1 inch by 5.5 inches for the connector. You're going to need your trimmer, scissors, scoring board, and I'll go over more as we get further along. So the first thing you're going to do, you're going to also need a Sizzix Vintage Big Kick or a Big Shot or some type of die cutting machine. I have the Big Kick, Vintage Big Kick. So I have 2 plates. I use the blue one for my flat, the one that doesn't get cut. And then I have the die, the actual die. And then I'm going to put my paper over top of the shape of the die. Then I'm going to put the cutting board that can get cut, I guess side A and B or whatever you make your sandwich. And then I'm just going to roll these through. And it cut it out for me. And I don't know if you can see the embossed look that it has on the door. I got it upside down, but so I've got 2 of these, 2 doors, and then I'm just gonna take my scoring board and I'm gonna grab the 1 inch by 5.5 inch connector, because what it's going to do is I'm creating a way to add this to a journal so that when it opens up, you'll have your front and your back, and this will connect to the other paper. But I'll show you in a minute. So let me get my scoring board, and I'm just going to score this at 1/2 inch. Okay, and then I'm going to take some scrap paper and I'm just going to go back over. I'm just going to run this die or paper back through with some of the leftover paper. And what I'm going to do with it is I'm going to fussy cut out portions of the door, and I'm just, in order to add dimension, I'm going to cut this part out, and the middle and the top. Let me turn it around correctly. And I'm going to distress it and add it to make it look 3-dimensional. Okay, so I'm going to distress some of these. I'm just going to try to use this distress crayon. This is walnut stain. I'm going to use it with a combination of the Distress Oxide by Ranger Vintage Photo. So starting with the crayon, I'm just going to rub my finger across it and just kind of add some color. I haven't really used these that much, so I'm not real sure how they're going to turn out. And basically what I'm doing, I'm just trying to give it some shadow, give this door some shadow. And this is the part that I'm going to cut out. And then I'll go back over it again once I've cut all of them out. Now I'm getting ready to glue these on here. And at first I was going to consider using some dimensionals, but I think it's deep enough, so I'm just going to glue it flat to it. I want to glue these parts of the door directly to it instead of lifting it up. And here I'm using art glitter glue. So I'm just going to put these in the center of the door from where I cut them from. And try to line it up if I can get it right. These are really fun to make. Really simple. It's amazing what you can do with something so easy, something so simple. Just add a little color, some more dimension and shadows to make a huge difference on your projects. Okay, so now I'm getting ready to add the connector, the one I just scored. I really don't think I need to distress it, but I will just go ahead and distress this edge before I attach it. And then I'm just going to line up the door along this crease. So I'm just going to put the glue on here. And I'm just going to add the back door to the back of it. And I'm going to line it up to the crease. And I want to make sure that the two doors are lined up together on the sides all around. And if you have any excess, you can just cut it off. And now it's time to attach this to the booklet or to the mini album, whatever. Okay, and then next you're going to take a piece of 8.5 by 11 paper and just fold it over in half. Then you're going to take your door and position it probably almost midway in the middle. And you're going to take a pencil or something. Let me get my pencil. And you're just going to outline where you're going to have it. This is where you want to position it at. And then you're going to open it up. Then you're going to get a ruler or something straight, and you're going to cut it. Just be really careful with your trim knife. You're going to cut along the edge of where your marks are. And then you're just going to take it out. And then you're going to glue your hinge or your edge that you created. You're going to glue it here. So you're going to go ahead and line up. Go ahead and put some glue on here. Now you can use wet glue, or you could use another type of glue, whichever you're more comfortable using. Just kind of line these up. Slide this over just a little bit. and this will open. And then you're just going to take your pencil and draw around the edge of where you need an image, so that when you open up the door, you will see something there. Your image will go here. Okay, and so I'm just going to take a piece of scrap paper, and I'm going to use this 3-inch punch. And I'm going to punch a hole. It's 3 inches. And I'm just going to cut it in half. Come over to 1.5 inches. I want to use it for like the window over top of the door. I'm going to distress it. And then I'm going to come in and I'm going to take a white sheet of paper. I'm going to use my 2.5 inch punch. I'm also going to cut this in half. So we have 1.25. And that will go in the center. But I'm going to distress the edge. Add a little blue to it. Some broken china, distress. Just kind of lightly add blue. This will represent the glass. I think I'll grab a piece of acetate to put over top of it, and I'll cut it out also at 2.5 inches. I decided to use my 3-inch punch to cut the acetate, but I had a really hard time getting it loose, so I'm going to have to come back through here and fussy cut it out. And then I'm just going to cut it in half. And I'll try to use the good side. And it'll cover this to give it like a window look. Let me just go ahead and glue these together. I haven't really worked with acetate very much, so we'll see how this works. Somehow I have excess, so I'm just going to cut it loose. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and get started on the center. This is the size that this was cut out of here. So what I'm going to do for a backdrop is I have this envelope that has a beautiful look to it. I got it from this pack from a thrift store. I got this in like 3 rolls of satin ribbon for like $2. And so what I'm just going to do is I'm going to trace around it using this as the template. I'm just going to line it up, this edge and the top edge, so there's less trimming I have to do. And I'm just going to go around the edge. Okay, and then I'm just going to cut it out. And this is going to be the wall. I'm just going to make it just a slightly bit bigger. So instead of cutting directly on the line, I'm going to cut just a little bit wider. And I'll just erase that mark. And do the same thing here. Just going to go ahead and erase that pencil mark. I'm just going to trim those off. Oops, looks like I messed that up. It's okay because a portion of this is going to get covered as like the floor. This is going to be the wall, and then I'm going to have a floor, so I can fix that. I think I need a new blade. Probably should have just cut that with some scissors. Let's see if I can salvage it a little. I'm not going to worry too much about it. So it's going to get positioned right here, and I'm just going to ink the edges with brown, the vintage photo. ahead and place this in here. And then I'm just going to take a piece of solid paper. Yeah, so I changed the paper, but it's still like 3 1/8 inch because I forgot I took a portion of that off. But I'm just going to ink this edge, all these edges. And this is going to be the floor. I'm just going to go ahead and apply it. I apologize for the sounds of my dryer in the background. It's a family of 5 here, and every day we're having to wash clothes. So, okay, just that a little bit. Okay, so that's your wall, and this is your floor. And then I cut out a window and a chair. I'm trying to think of how to place them. I think I made the window too big. We're gonna figure this out. But yeah, I just cut these out. I printed them out, cut them out, and then I add this little pillow. I backed everything, I double backed them with cardstock. Printed the original image off, added it to some cardstock, and then cut it out and went around the edge and stressed them. And with the window, I did the same thing, but I took a knife and fussy cut out where the window is. And then I added some cheesecloth and acetate to the back. I might not use that. I may use something else. Okay, so I decided I am just going to use I'm not going to use the curtain, but I will use the chair. And then I also have a little image, a portrait of a lady. I'll use that. And these are going to be tuck spots, so I have to leave enough room. I'm going to go ahead and glue these down. I'm just going to glue the bottom portion of the chair. So that you can still tuck something in there, you know. And I'm going to do the same thing to the portrait. be able to tuck something there. So, yeah. Before I seal it, I'm going to distress around this edge in case a portion of it shows when you open the door. It's just to give it some shadow. And then I'm going to flip this around like this. Also going to distress inside of here, or around the outside of it, the edges of it. You shouldn't be able to see the inside, but I just want to make certain that it's distressed all the way through. And then this is going to get glued down to the face of the journal, and this is the outer cover of the journal. I think I'll just go ahead and seal this window on here. And I've been debating on how to do the outer part, but I'm just going to go ahead and distress it. And I'm going to go back over with some red. And then I have a stencil that I'm going to use. I'm not sure where I got this from. I think eBay. Yeah, I think I got this from eBay. And I'm going to use it's a medium I've never used before. This is Freebies, if I'm pronouncing that right, glossy dimension. And I'm just going to go over some of these. This is black, so I'm using a butter knife. I had some spatulas, I don't know where I put them at, and so yeah, this is where I'm at. Mix this up. I don't know if that makes a difference or not, but I'm just going to run some of this over it. It's not going to be like super thick. I wish I had a spatula. It'd go on so much smoother. It's okay that I've got some of the black on there because I'm just going to kind of throw some more medium on there. I'm going to paint it with some white gesso if I can find it. I've got to clean my craft room. It's just a hot mess. Hot mess express is what it is. So I'm going to let that dry and then I'll come back. Okay, so it's pretty much dry. I'm just going to take some of this white acrylic paint by Artist Loft. You can use gesso or whatever. I've misplaced my gesso. Misplaced my gesso, my spatulas. I've got to clean up my room. Anyway, I'm just going to water down some of this paint. I'm just going to lightly go over this. Just using some long brush strokes. It didn't completely dry, but that's fine because I'm liking how some of this black is just kind of flowing in there. It's giving it that old, kind of been sitting out in a weathered look. And I'm just going to dab more into just the white part of the paint. Just kind of highlight some of the areas of the brick. And then I'm just going to kind of dust over top of the door. And just let it dry. Across my little window, so I don't want that paint on there. So I think that'll be okay. Dry this. Okay, so now that that's dry, I'm going to get my distress inks back out. Actually, I'm going to use my little distress crayon. Just kind of go over this edge, this one, over this. I feel like a kid in school. Using this crayon. It doesn't have to be perfect. And I'm going to take one of these stamps. I have some texture on it. I'm going to add this wood grain to the doors. like to dampen my stamp before I use my Distress Oxide inks. And let's see what we can come up with. I'm just going to randomly stamp it. Just to give it that texture. Then I'm going to come back with some crackle, or a crackle stamp. And use some broken china this time. And I'm just going to randomly hit or miss. I'm going to also do that out here. And then I'm just going to add a little green. Add some red. I'm just going to lightly go back over this with some gesso just to kind of bring it out. Let that dry, and while it's drying I have these miniature hinges. I printed them out and fussy cut them out and backed them on some clear cream color cardstock, and just kind of took a pen and went around the edges and to highlight it. And then here's like a little door lock, and I'm going to add these to the door. open up your door. And I'm going to glue these down. I'm going to glue this down. I think I'll just go ahead and do that now. Yeah. Okay, so this is where we are with part 1. And I'll eventually figure out a closure for this. I may put a magnet back here so that when this closes, it'll just be like a magnet. So thanks for watching. If you like, please leave a comment, share, subscribe, and check out some of my other videos. And I will see you in the next one of part 2. Thanks for watching.